What's going on, everybody? Cowboy C3 here. Hey, I told you I was going live if it happened, and it happened today. CeeDee Lamb signs 4 years, 136 million, roughly 34 million a year. I want to talk about three things. Of course, I want to talk about CeeDee Lamb signing. That's a great thing. But it's good news for the team. They needed CeeDee Lamb in. They needed him to be inside the building, getting in some kind of football shape so he can be ready to go for week one. The contract being signed today kind of leads me into an interview that happened today with Clarence Hill Jr. here in Dallas. He had an interview with Jerry Jones, and this was after the contract was signed. And Jerry Jones said he will remain the GM of the Dallas Cowboys because nobody can fucking get this shit done better than I can. What took you so long, man? We all knew what the contract was going to be. It was going to be for the same amount of time and a little bit less than what Justin Jefferson makes. We all knew that. What took you so long? What took you so long? If you're the best in the business, what took you so long? Now, to his defense, I will say this. As a GM, right, he's been hitting on players. For the last few years, he's been hitting on players. He has been doing that. I will give him that. They have put together some pretty good rosters, right? As an owner, no, not at all. Jerry has this thing about him where comments like this is how he walks around every day. I'm the best to ever do this shit. Nobody's ever going to do it better than me. That you can tell, like, that is his aura. When he walks into a room, that's Jerry. That is Jerry. He will not bring any kind of personality into the building that will threaten his own personality. The next head coach that comes in here and wins the Super Bowl is going to be labeled as the guy that saved the Dallas Cowboys. That's going to take away from Jerry's limelight. I talked about this, I think, on the very first podcast I ever did here in Cowboy Spit. The very first one. I talked about it. There's 30 years of evidence to support what I'm saying. It's been bullshit coaches in here for 30 years, with the exception of Bill Parcells. Parcells came in and won with a crappy team. He did. He won with a crappy team. When he won with that crappy team, I promise you that he came in and said, I've been winning with your little shitty team that you put on the field. Give me control of this thing. Let me put a team on the field that I want to have on the field. Let me do that, and I will win you some Super Bowls. And Jerry was like, no, sir. No, sir. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. Appreciate you, Mel. It's not going to happen. So now we've been stuck with coaches that do the hand clap or the arm fold. And we've been stuck with that for 30 years. And they can't get the talent that they have on the roster to the next level. They can win a division. They can win a wild card game. But once it gets time to where it's not playing checkers anymore, you're playing chess. It's strategy. It's football. You have to think about everything. That comes with the coaching staff, and the coaching staff putting players in the right position to win football games, and he does not do that. He won't hire coaches that do that. And the cameras come to him after the game, and that's how we live life as Dallas Cowboy fans. That's how we do it. But great job today. You signed CeeDee Lamb. $34 million a year. He'll be here. He's in the building. I told you on the last podcast, I felt like it would get done this week. Did not think it was going to get done on this Monday, but they're in the building. You can sit down, him and his agent at the same time in a conference room in your own office and get the deal done. And they did it. Congratulations. Good job. Finally. Now, One more thing I want to talk about before I get off of here. CeeDee Lamb was the main thing, and then Jerry talking about he's the best to ever fucking do it. That's crazy. 53-man roster. I'm going to tell you the players that are getting cut. Now, before the players got cut, I wrote down what my 53-man roster would look like. Let me read that first. Okay, my quarterbacks are Dak and Cooper Rush. Those are my quarterbacks. Trey Lance is not going to be on the roster. He'll be on the practice squad. We'll keep him around, but he's not going to be on the roster. My running backs, Dowdle, Zeke, Vaughn, Hunter Lemke. I'll tell you why Hunter Lemke in a minute. He's going to be on the roster regardless. He's the only fullback you got. Your wide receivers, Lamb, Cooks, Brooks, Turpin, Flourney, and Cropper. I like Cropper. Tyron Billy Johnson was the one that I was kind of on the fence about, but I'll tell you about that in a minute. My tight ends, Ferguson, Shoemaker, and Hendershot. Those are my 3 tight ends. Guyton, Steele, Asim Richards, and Adoyo are my tackles. My guards are Tyler Smith, Zach Martin, and Ball. Those are my 3 tackles. My centers are going to be Beebe and Hoffman. My defensive ends, D-Law, Parsons, Nealon, and Muhammad. My defensive tackles, Odigizua, Mozzie Smith, Phillips, and Linval Joseph. I might question that Linval Joseph. I might get caught in that one. My linebackers, Lufau, Overshown, Kendricks, Clark, and Buddy Johnson. Those are my linebackers. Those are my linebacker choices. Buddy Johnson, I know he hadn't really stuck on. He's been in the league for like 4 years, hadn't really stuck anywhere before, but this year in preseason, Buddy had a good preseason. My corners, Diggs, Carson, Lewis, Booth, Eric Scott Jr., and Deron Bland, of course, but Bland's going to be out for about 4 weeks. Hooker, Wilson, Bell, Mukamu, and Thomas are my safeties, and my special teams players are going to be Sieg the Deke Snapper, Anger, Brandon Aubrey, and Chris Godwin. That's my roster choices, right? These are the players that were cut today. Deontay Burnett, Cole Cabral, so wide receiver and a center cut, Josh DeBerry, DB, Willie Harvey, linebacker, Alec Holder, tight end, Cam Johnson, wide receiver, Jason Johnson, linebacker, Nathaniel Pete, running back, Eric Scott Jr. I had him on mine. Got to cross that one off. I lost on that one. Albert Huggins, defensive tackle. He's the one that pushed the coach for the Rams. Tyron Billy Johnson got cut today. Damian Wilson got cut today. David Durden got cut today. Viami Fihoko, who was a second-round draft pick last year from San Jose State, got cut today. And Darrell Johnson, another defensive end, got cut today. Out of everybody I named, only one of them got cut. I'm going to see how good I am with this 53-man roster. I think that I got it nailed down pretty good. Tomorrow, I'll come on here. Roster cuts start. Roster will be out at 3 p.m. Central Time tomorrow. I will come on here after that and read the 53-man roster, balance it with my 53-man roster, and see if I'm doing pretty good. Not to toot my own horn, but I've called 3 preseason games in a row. How they would go. 3 of them. Y'all about to start calling me Mr. Cleo. I'm telling you, you're going to have to. You're going to have to call me that because I got this thing down pat. Anyway, I'm just messing with y'all, man. We'll see how it goes. That's all I got for y'all today. Once again, big news, man. CeeDee Lamb has signed, is here. He's in the building. Let's get this thing going. All right. Cowboy C3, I'm out.